Hi, we're going to study economics. When we think of economics, we think of cash, the checks that are that we use, our debit cards, but economics is more than that. Economics is the study of human efforts to satisfy seemingly unlimited wants through the use of limited resources. So it's the choices you make to fulfill what you want. So unlimited wants are houses, everything that we could possibly want to buy. Houses, cars, vacations, haircuts, clothes. It's the stuff, but it's also the services. And it's how we take the money that we have and pay for the things that we want. And those wants are unlimited. There are 6 things that people study, 6 qualities that people study. The first thing that economics studies is wages. You know, what constitutes a wage? What do you need to have in terms of training for a wage? Are there fair wages? What's an American fair wage? Another thing that people who are economists study is trade. Trade between countries, trade between states. Production. Why do we produce what we do? And what countries produce certain things, and how does the government connect with that? Then how do you distribute it? How do you decide who gets what? Have you ever wondered how Judd decides how much bread gets put on the shelves every day? Well, that's the study of distribution. And it is based on that simple beep when we go buy something. It's actually keeping an inventory and telling the stores, hey, this is how much you need every day. Okay. Also, the next thing is consumption. How much do you consume? That has to do with purchasing. That has to do with using. All of consumption is a big part of economics. And finally, economists study taxes and the way our government spends its money. Okay. So if you turn to the next part, we're going to study pure capitalism. Now, pure capitalism does not exist anywhere in the world. There is no country that has the absolute absence of government in the economy. All governments are involved in the economy in some way. And pure capitalism is the concept that everything that is produced, distributed, consumed is decided by the marketplace. Okay? Here are the qualities. The first quality is private ownership. And in a pure capitalistic society, everybody owns what they want. Everybody, as far as property goes, as far as businesses go, and they control it. You see the word enterprise there, and no, that's not Star Trek. The enterprise is the business aspect of capitalism. So, for example, let's say that I want to open up a restaurant. That is my enterprise, and I would make all decisions. If I decided to serve rotten meat, I serve rotten meat. If I decide to serve sushi alongside seaweed sushi versus a non-seaweed sushi, that would be my decision. We know that I can't serve rotten meat in our country because the government would step in and say that's illegal. In pure capitalism, there would be nobody telling me what I could and could not do. Second quality, individual initiative, the get up and go. This, to me, is probably the strongest quality of our economic system. But in capitalism, if you don't have the initiative, if you don't have the get up and go to make the money necessary and put the work into it, then you don't get to reap any of the rewards. Those things are protected by copyrights, patents, and trademarks. So, for example, if I would write a song that is a chart-topping song, I would want to protect it so that other songwriters don't steal it. That's a copyright. Maybe I invent the next great cookie, better than even the best of Oreos, the best that there is, the Oreo. I might get a patent on it. So, for example, one of the most closely guarded patents in the world is the formula for Coca-Cola, of which I'm drinking right now. That's a patent that protects it. And I know that some of you are working towards a patent, and that is to protect your individual initiative, the thing that you created. The trademark is a symbol. It's the Coca-Cola sign. It is the Nabisco ting. That note is actually trademarked. That is to protect you. Competition. We've already had quite a lively discussion about the power of competition when we discussed like blue jeans. One of the things in pure capitalism is that get the best product at the best prices. So let's say, we'll go back to my restaurant. I sell the $5 hamburger, and somebody opens up a hamburger shop straight across the way, and they sell a hamburger for $4. Okay, some people might say, well, just because that's cheaper, I'm going to go over there and eat. Well, then you find out that my hamburger is made with 100% Angus beef. You might say, hey, that's the best product at the best price, even though it's a little bit more. That's the joy of competition. Fourth quality, freedom of choice. We have the freedom to produce and buy whatever products we choose to. So if in the 1970s someone wants to make pet rocks, and again, I've already admitted I purchased one of those, then they have the choice to produce it because I have the choice to buy it. And that's the joy of capitalism. Products are made and distributed and consumed based on the marketplace. Someone wants all of those things that we see those infomercials for, and someone produces them. We have shows like Shark Tank, which are solely an example. It is like one of the best examples that we have of providing products that they are trying to prove people need. The last quality of pure capitalism, and you'll notice that it is all in capital letters, and that is the concept of equality of opportunity. And in pure capitalism, that concept is that everyone has the opportunity to own private property. Everyone has the opportunity to get up and go and do what they need to do in order to get ahead. Everyone has the opportunity to find the best product at the best prices. And you have the choice to produce and buy what you want. That opportunity is there if you're willing to take it. So no country, again, has pure capitalism, but our government still regulates, but the United States is the closest. We have what is called mixed market. So here is a video, but YouTube is struggling today. And so what I will try to do is to put this video up on Google Classroom a little bit later so that you can watch what is capitalism. Adam Smith is the one that came up with the concept of capitalism. He wrote a book called Wealth of Nations, and please notice the date, 1776. It is not an accident that our country, based on democratic principles, was born at the exact same time, because capitalism's concept is based on choice. When you hear the word free enterprise and free market, it's basically the same thing, meaning that the consumer determines what is going to be produced and what is distributed. So in other words, in our part of the state, we don't have a huge need for challah bread. Challah bread is a bread that's often found in Jewish communities because they can't have leaven. Well, challah, I hope I have the right bread. We don't, we use yeast in our bread, and so that is why it's not distributed or produced, because it is not demanded by the consumer. That's the free market. My daughter lives in southeast Iowa. She loves crimp bread, cinnamon crimp bread to be exact. She can't get it down there because that is not a product that their consumers demand, because it's kind of a Dutch product that comes from Casey's Bakery. And so where do we find crimp bread? in Northwest Iowa, in the Hy-Vees up here, but you're not going to find it, let's say, in Sioux City, because that is not something that their consumers demand. The last term that we're going to go through today is the term called laissez-faire. Now that's the way my teacher taught us to say it. Some people hear the word laissez-faire. It's a French term that means hands off. The government is supposed to keep its hands off the marketplace. So as little regulations as possible. And the idea of a laissez-faire government is the best government is the government that governs the least. Keep the government out of the nose of the businessman. Okay? What we're going to talk about a little bit later is how does pure capitalism, as you see right here, combine with regulation to make the mixed market system. All right, as I said, I will put that link of what is capitalism when YouTube is up and running again. All right, thanks a lot, and we'll see you at the next class period.